Cairo. Homeland Security Secretary Janet Napolitano has said the terror threat in the U.S. remains at its highest level since 9/11. As unrest spreads throughout the Middle East and government and leadership roles change, will the new regimes threaten the safety of the United States? Well, today the nation's top national security officials laid out plans for improvements in a hearing held at the nation's capital. CIA Director Leon Panetta saying it's a challenge to predict what is ahead.
What we do need to do is to have a better understanding and better collection on these triggers. What triggers these events? And there, it's the unmet expectations. It's the large increase in the numbers of youth, educated, out of work, the play on the internet.
Well, Jamie Smith is a former CIA operative and CEO of SCG International. Jamie, thanks for joining us. And I want to build off what Director Panetta was saying there. It was also said that the nation is at risk of more attacks, but smaller attacks, which Mr. Panetta was talking about. Local law enforcement, therefore, comes into play here. Yet we've seen a lot of cuts because of budget. So the question might be said, is the country ready for these smaller attacks that they're saying that might be happening across the country?
Well, the reason they're saying that is because over the last decade, we've seen no extravagant attacks succeed. And the enemy is now trying to inspire the lone wolf and maybe the individual cells that work independent of a main larger body. And you know, what they've done is they've adopted our version of compartmentalization, where one group acts without another group knowing what's going on. And overseas, we've got the intelligence agencies working with the military to collect information about attacks on the homeland. And then here in the States, we've got DHS and the FBI that are working in concert together. But then, as you pointed out, the local law enforcement are going to be the tip of the spear when it comes to actually mitigating the threat locally. And the weak spot there is the training aspect for the local law enforcement. For example, we've offered a training program for about 5 years now that teaches local law enforcement how to detect and defeat the local enemy that is an al-Qaeda inspired operator. So, you know, it's a training issue for one, and but communications between local, federal, and state law enforcement agencies and intelligence apparatus, that's going to be the key to actually putting these things down.
The coordination is what you're saying, Jamie, the coordination between those different levels. And you know, as a former CIA operative, what's your thought then? You were also mentioning that there has been a major successful attack on the homeland, on U.S. soil. Does that mean that therefore we're doing well?
Well, I mean, you got to kind of think that we are. You know, I mean, it's been 10 years, and it's not that they have not tried. We've had over 60 people that have been arrested just here in the United States alone since 2009 for attempting to attack here. And you know, Al-Qaeda has made multiple efforts, but you know, the defeat of Al-Qaeda is something. There's not going to be a white flag surrender moment where we have, you know, somebody on the other side waving defeat like we had in Germany or Japan. And you know, it's an idea, and you know, we're no more going to be able to defeat an idea with bullets than they're going to be able to defeat us, because you know, patriotism is our idea. So, you know, it's
critics are saying, Jamie, critics are saying that's also a sign that we're not doing well, as you're intimating there, because Al-Qaeda has not been defeated. Osama bin Laden has not been caught. You know, I'm looking at a copy of the report that Mr. Panetta, as well as the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, had given to a House Intelligence Committee. They outline over 20 countries that are challenges across the world, global challenges, as they call them. Is it possible, then, given so many concerns, that the United States can actually affect all of these areas?
Well, you know, we've got representation in these areas for the most part, you know, with the exception of North Korea and Iran. But you know, if I could just for a second, earlier I was not suggesting that we're not defeating Al-Qaeda. It was just that we have to promote better ideas. We're still militarily defeating them on the battlefield at every moment. But to your question about these, you know, these additional countries here, you know, the United States, I believe the part of the failure that we've had is communicating our goals. And you know, our diplomatic corps has fallen behind in the information age when it comes to communicating and distributing our foreign aid, because both of those things are so closely tied together. Because communication and foreign aid, that is the physical example of the United States promise. It validates what we say, and if we don't communicate adequately, then you see things take place in foreign countries where they wind up talking about how they hate the United States. It's because we have not clearly communicated to them you know, what our intentions are. The United States, you know, our American people are, you know, they're good people, and we don't intend.
Jamie, thank you very much. Jamie Smith, we appreciate from SCG, CEO of SCG International, with the latest and the response to what we're watching there, the debates that are happening in these hearings on Capitol Hill. So could budget cuts take a toll on a program that's helped thousands of